For generations, India's agricultural market has been, well, let's just say it's been complicated and often deeply unfair. But what if technology could come in and rebuild the whole thing from the ground up? Today, that's what we're looking at. We're diving into Tradewiser, a new digital exchange that's trying to bring trust and transparency to a place that desperately needs it.
Wow, this quote, it just gets right to the heart of the issue, doesn't it? It's not just that the system is inefficient, it's that it's a trap, a cycle. Imagine your entire year's hard work being valued by just a handful of people, subjectively. It's a system that traps farmers in debt and pretty much forces them to sell when prices are at their absolute worst. This is the cycle that Tradewiser is trying to smash.
So what does this change actually look like? Well, it's really a tale of two completely different systems. On one side, you've got the current reality. It's opaque, it's subjective, and far too often, it's just plain exploitative. And on the other side, that's the Tradewiser vision. Transparent, standardized, and fair. It's a huge shift from a tiny, closed circle of trust to an open, digital marketplace that works for everybody.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll touch a bit more on the unfair system. Then we'll get into the fix. Tradewiser's three core pillars: warehousing, financing, and the trading engine itself. And then we'll wrap up with the really clever part, the community-powered vision that makes the whole thing scale. Okay, so let's get into it. Tradewiser isn't just an app or a piece of software, it's a whole new ecosystem. It's designed from the ground up to be a trusted digital spot exchange. That just means a place where real commodities can be bought and sold for immediate delivery. The big idea is to create a level playing field right from the moment a farmer's harvest leaves the farm.
Everything, and I mean everything, starts with building a foundation of trust, and that brings us to Pillar 1, smart warehousing. You see, before you can have a fair digital market, you first have to trust the physical product. This is where that trust gets built, one sack of grain at a time.
And the process for a farmer is actually beautifully simple. They just show up at a Tradewiser warehouse. Their produce gets professionally quality checked and weighed. Then it's put into standardized packaging. And here's where the magic happens. That physical good gets instantly converted into a secure digital warehouse receipt right on their phone. This digital warehouse receipt, this is the absolute core of the whole innovation. A physical, perishable good, something that can rot, is transformed into a traceable, standardized, and secure digital asset. It's not just a bag of wheat anymore. It's an asset you can hold, get financing against, and trade on an open exchange, just like a share of a company. This is what breaks those generational cycles of debt, because it gives farmers true ownership and, for the first time, real control over the value they've created.
But you might be wondering, how on earth do you build this physical network quickly enough to matter? With something they call the 24 model. And honestly, it's an incredibly clever strategy for scaling up. They can take an existing warehouse and convert it to their standards in just 24 hours. They can upgrade that warehouse to a full-service hub in 24 days. Or they can build a brand new facility from scratch in 24 weeks. This lets them expand their network of trusted locations all across the country at a truly astonishing speed.
So now that you have a trusted digital asset, what can you do with it? Well, that brings us to Pillar 2, financing. Because once that asset exists, you can unlock its financial value. This gives farmers instant access to fair credit, essentially turning their stored goods into a kind of credit card for commodities.
And it's built on a really simple 80-20 loan-to-value ratio. What that means is a farmer can instantly get a loan for up to 80% of the current market value of their goods sitting in that warehouse. This simple tool is a game changer. It completely eliminates that desperation to sell right after harvest when prices are at rock bottom. It gives them holding power, and it gives them immediate cash flow. And the difference between this and traditional lending is just night and day. The old way is often super stressful, it's slow, and let's be honest, it's designed to favor the lender. The Tradewiser model is the total opposite. It's instant, it's transparent, it's got fair terms, and there are no hidden charges. It works just like a simple overdraft, removing all that stress and putting the farmer firmly back in control. All right, so we've got the trusted asset, we've got the financing. Now we get to the final pillar, which is really the whole point of the system, the trading engine. This is the marketplace where those digital warehouse receipts are actually bought and sold, and where the true fair market value of that commodity can finally be discovered. But this is where things get really, really tricky. You see, trading commodities isn't simple. The price isn't just about what the item is. So that leads to a massive challenge.
How do you build a system that can accurately price something based on 3 complex, interconnected variables all at the same time?
And here are those 3 variables. First, you've got the commodity itself. What is it, what's its quality, and how much is there? That's your x-axis. Then you've got the price, the y-axis. And crucially, you have the location, the z-axis, because the cost of transport can totally change whether a deal makes sense or not. Most platforms just can't juggle all 3 of these things effectively.
So what's Tradewiser's secret sauce? It's a metric they created called the fill rate. Okay, think of it like a match percentage on a dating app, but for commodity trades. It's a single score that tells a buyer how well their very specific request for a certain quality, at a certain price, and a certain location matches what's actually available. If the score is low, you know you need to adjust your bid. If it's high, hey, you might even be overpaying. The goal is to get that rate as close to 100% as possible, to find that perfect, efficient deal.
So we have the 3 pillars. The tech is brilliant, but a great product is useless if nobody actually uses it, right? So how does a system like this actually reach the millions of farmers spread all across India? Well, this is where the community-powered vision comes into play.
The whole business model is built on partnership. For that foundational warehousing service, the local entrepreneur who runs the warehouse keeps 2/3 of the fee. This gives them a really powerful incentive to join the network and, just as importantly, to maintain high standards. It's a true win-win for everyone involved.
And what about the trading? Well, the fee there is incredibly simple and, frankly, remarkably low. It's just 0.33% for both the buyer and the seller on any completed trade. That kind of transparency and affordability is designed to encourage a high volume of trades and make the platform accessible to literally everyone.
But the real genius here is how they scale on the ground. Instead of trying to hire a huge, expensive national sales team, Tradewiser leverages trusted local partners. Often, they're educated young people from those rural communities. They become the on-the-ground brokers, building out the network through real community trust. It creates a self-rewarding system that also creates local jobs and ensures the platform grows organically from the ground up.
So when you put all these pieces together, it leaves you with this really big, fascinating question. What if you could take something as abstract as trust and literally program it directly into the code of a market? By standardizing the physical goods, digitizing them into assets, and creating a transparent platform for everyone, Tradewiser is trying to do exactly that. And it offers a really powerful vision for the future of trade.